Welcome to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Now here's your host, Tim McMahon.
There are certain topics that, as a Star Wars podcaster, I feel like I'm obligated to talk about them. This week's Force Friday, or Rogue Friday as some were calling it, is just such a topic. But I'm not a toy guy. Other than my budding classic Kenner action figure collection, look for another episode on that topic shortly, since I'm not a toy guy, there really wasn't that much to get me excited about Force Friday. I do have a few original trilogy Stormtrooper action figures on my desk, and I may pick up some more Stormy figs in the next few weeks. That was nothing that made me feel the urge to go out at midnight for. Heck, I didn't even don my armor and go to a store with my 501st Garrison pals. Anyway, there is one product I really wanted. Because I love Stormtroopers, the new Black Series voice changer helmet caught my eye. I don't know why I need it. I already have 3 TK buckets of my own, but nonetheless, I want it anyway. I actually pre-ordered it online and hope to have it arrive in a week or two. When it does come, maybe I'll record a gut reaction episode as I unbox it. Well, since Force Friday was a non-event for me, and since I don't have that much to report, let's move on to another topic. 2 topics in one episode? Whoa, this is a first for Less Than 12 Parsecs. Yesterday was International Podcast Day. I don't know if this is a real thing or who started it or how long it's been going on, but I saw it trending on Twitter, so I thought, hey, let's make a few words about it. Actually, I just want to use this opportunity to say thank you to some great Star Wars podcasters out there. Some of these people I've mentioned in the special thanks page of TwelveParsecsPodcast.com and others on episode 0. But you know what? They all deserve to be thanked again. Let's see if I can do this unscripted. First off, thank you to Jason Collier, my pal and partner from the Expanded Faniverse. Thank you for taking over when I couldn't do the show. You're doing awesome work over there. I look forward to more episodes of the Expanded Faniverse. Thank you to Alan Voivod from Star Wars 7x7. Thanks for being my partner on the Expanded Comicverse. Let's get off our butts and start that again. And thank you for going from online friend to real world friend. That's cool. I like that. Next to Alex Robinson and Pete the Retailer from Star Wars Minute. They were early guests on the Expanded Faniverse, and they led me to the conclusion that talking to someone who's doing something with their Star Wars fandom is more fun than talking to someone about Star Wars fandom. Thanks to Joe Mignano, a recent guest here on Less Than 12 Parsecs, creator of the Star Wars Podcasters app for Android. That's a great tool for anyone in the Star Wars podcasting community or fandom. Thank you to Mark Newbold from Jedi News and from Radio 1138, and I know he has other shows. Mark's just been a really cool guy the times I've talked to him, and I feel like everyone in Star Wars fandom crosses Mark's path at one time or another. I don't know if that's true, but it feels that way. It feels like everyone knows Mark. So thanks, Mark, for your site and your shows and for being a cool guy. Thanks to Joe and Chris from Brews and Blasters. I feel so bad. I've talked to them before. They're awesome. They're funny. Their show is great. I feel bad because they've invited me out for a beer and I've never taken them up for that. And, they're just down the road. And by down the road, I mean 2 hours away in Massachusetts. Next, thank you to Michael Corley, who does our voiceover here on Less Than 12 Parsecs. Michael also has a great show, the Voxbox Star Wars podcast. I'm sorry to see that he called an end to that show, but thank you, Michael, for being the official voice of Less Than 12 Parsecs. Thank you to Roco Depot, a great website about all things sci-fi and fandom, but thank you for adding Less Than 12 Parsecs to your weekly podcast roundup. I really appreciate it, and I like the feedback you guys have given me. Thank you to Jeremiah Williamson from Star Wars Expose. When I was having a hard time making time for podcasting, Jeremy was very optimistic and positive and kept telling me, go for it, and I did, and that's what led to Less Than 12 Parsecs. Thank you to the crew at Star Wars in Character. I love that show. That's all I'm going to say. I just want to say thank you for putting on a great show. Love the concept, love the show. Keep it up. Thank you to Derek Daniel, a recent guest here on Less Than 12 Parsecs, does Project Padawan. It's really interesting to see someone new jumping into the fandom, and that's really cool. And thank you to everyone on the Star Wars Podcast and Podcasters group on Facebook, be it a podcaster or a fan of podcasts. There's a whole many great shows that are represented over there. Let me see if I can think of some off the top of my head. Skywalking Through Neverland, we have Full of Sith, That's No Moon, Last Points, The Cocky Cockpit, Aggressive Negotiations, The Tumbling Saber, Starship Sabers and Scoundrels. There is another, Steel Wars. I know I'm leaving out 100 others. Please, folks, check out that group if you're on Facebook. It's an awesome group, and it's a great way to find new shows. So there you go. 2 topics for the price of 1 today on Less Than 12 Parsecs. Oh, one other person I forgot to thank. You, the listener. Thank you for listening to this show. Please come back. Please tell your friends about it. And please tell me what you think. Send me an email or hit me up on social media. Utini!
You've been listening to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy, part of the expanded Fandomverse network of shows. For links and show notes, visit our website, TwelveParsecsPodcast.com. Follow Less Than 12 Parsecs on Twitter at 12parpod, on Instagram at 12parsecsPodcast, on Tumblr at 12parsecsPodcast, and find us on Facebook as well. And please let us know what you think. Email us at 12parsecsPodcast@gmail.com.